All right, everybody, and welcome back to High Velocity Racing League and the High Velocity Racing Network, live from Daytona International Speedway in the lovely Daytona Beach, Florida. We kick off our High Velocity Racing League Cup Series with our duel at Daytona. Looking at the race info, we got 30 laps on deck for this evening with one additional set of tire and one fast repair. The front row in qualifying will be determined here tonight. The first and second place drivers will be on the front row for the points paying race a week from today. So qualifying is going to be ultra important. If the person who wins tonight's duel finishes or is not the person that is on the front two rows, they will start in the third position. Practice has been going for about 23 minutes so far. And we will take a look at the board. See where we are. Right now, fastest lap so far, run by good old Sean Happy Happick in the 52. Getting some drafting practice there with William Kern, Ryan Seabolt. Among others there. Mason Connell in that group as well. But a 46.268 is the fastest so far. Ryan Stevenson, also in this group here, in the number 5, is second fastest so far. And the third fastest is the 17 of Bryce Fontaine, last season's champion here in High Velocity Racing League. Won the regular season championship and closed it out at Phoenix with a pretty good performance. It was a tight battle for second in that season championship, but Fontaine clearly had the points lead on lock going into the final race. And the defending champion with a number change from 12 to 17 this season. Right there in front of him is his teammate, Ryan Koch, in the 07. New driver here to High Velocity Racing League for the season. Those two, along with Happick and Kern, making up Hyperdrive Esports. Looks like those guys are trying to get locked up together for some drafting practice as well. And let's have a conversation with our defending champion if we can. Joining us is our defending champion from Season 1, Bryce Fontaine. A bit of a number change for you here, but how excited are you to get back on the track here in High Velocity Racing League in the Cup Series?
Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to it. Great group of guys in here, a lot of returning drivers that we're familiar with. Of course, we got some newbies as well that are joining in. I'm excited to see where those guys are going to be at. And, yeah, we're going to go out here and try to defend this title.
Caught you on the broadcast last night for the Truck Series race. Thanks for joining in for that. And how important is track position going to be here for you in the duel tonight?
Yeah, I mean, for the duel, it kind of is what it is. The most track position I'm looking to get is just going to be qualifying. We're trying to get Happy up to speed here a little bit with the draft and the next-gen cars. So we'll probably be experimenting tonight. Like I said, try to get on that front row for the broadcast for the race next week. And then apart from that, we're just going to experiment, kind of see what we got, and have a little bit of fun out there.
All right. Well, Bryce, we'll let you get back down there with your team. Like you said, you're working on some drafting practice with your teammates, so we'll get you back down there. Good luck tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hopefully, I'll be talking to you again.
That's what we're hoping for, brother. Let's see who else we want to talk to. Well, there's a few guys out there right now. Let's grab Ryan Seabolt. He got a top 3 last night. And Ryan Seabolt in the 08 joining me up here in the booth. We got a few. Oh, that was almost close. Saw that on.
Yeah, almost died.
On the broadcast. Well, Ryan, after a top 3 last night in the trucks, how you feeling about your chances tonight in the next gen car?
I'm feeling pretty good. I got some good teammates here. Hopefully, me and Mason and Ryan can get this thing going and have a good race.
Yeah, and being out on the track last night, is that going to play any kind of a factor for you here tonight with experience in the draft and all that with the next gen car?
I would say so. I mean, it's definitely always helpful to get laps in and practice with the same drivers out on the track. So yeah, it definitely helps.
Now, you didn't join us for season 1 at all, correct?
No, I kind of had to prove my driving skill set, I guess. My iRacing rating doesn't really meet the standard yet.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so this is your rookie season here in the Cup Series. So good luck, and maybe we'll talk to you a little bit later here, Ryan.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Get another minute. See if there's anybody else. Big wreck there at the end of practice. This guy's cooking it down pit road there. A lot of people just losing it here at the end of the practice session. So that will do it for practice. Now it is time for us to hop in for qualifying. Now again, first and second place. I see you over there, Sean Wilder, with the what up 8 ball. I do see you. I didn't get 8th last night, though. 7th place. One better. Anyway, back to what we were saying. The top 2 in the qualifying will be on the front row for this next race, the first points paying race of the season. So it'll be very vital to get into the top 2 if you want that track position to start the season here at Daytona next week. Bunch of drivers going out for their hot laps right now. Bobby Grady, one of them. And the closest one to starting their first lap is Rob Kubat, and he backs off of it. He lost it a little bit, so he will reset and try again. Sebastian Taylor looks like he is going to be the first to cross the line and start his hot laps. Sebastian is new to High Velocity Racing League. This is his rookie season. in the number 26. You see they're running the high side to try to gain that momentum as much as possible. I suspect that's what you will see if you took a look at all of these drivers as well. Running that high side, trying to gain up the speed as much as they possibly can. You should see the 26 drop down to cross at the bottom through the tri-oval. Indeed. He will be the first one to put down a time at a 51.027. Multiple drivers will be putting in faster times, I would imagine. The 32 of Freitas with a 50.35. He's not tight to that yellow line. Seabolt with a 50.44. Staying off of the double yellows here is the 32. See Fontaine. Fontaine's running the high side on his first lap. And Scott Milliken in the 3 now to the top of the board, as is Kevin Fry. Fontaine's first lap is a 52.860. Ryan Seabolt jumps to the pole on his second lap with a 50.271. That's a great lap for Ryan. Mason Connell up to the 3rd spot with a 3.12. Let's see what Fry can do on his second lap here. And Borer will drop Fry. Fry's second lap is not faster than the 3.05. Fontaine up to the 4th spot. Milliken in 2nd. Let's take a look. William Kern just finishing his second lap here. And Will jumps up to P2. He'll right now sitting in a position for the front row. Happy. Oh, Kubat knocks him out, though. Rob Kubat. A 50.249 puts him to the pole. Happy coming around for his second lap. Happy going to be up to P4. And the 07 Akach is going to take over the pole position with a 186. As Wesley Burke also getting up into the top 2. And with only 3 seconds left, that should conclude qualifying. So it'll be a pair of 7s on the front row as the 07 Akach and the 7 of Burke will be the front row for next week's points paying race. So we will take a quick break as we get the drivers meeting taken care of, and we will prep for the starting grid for our duel at Daytona. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes here. Stay tuned for the start of the duel. Alrighty, here we go with the starting grid for tonight's duel at Daytona, presented by High Velocity Racing Network. Leading the field to the green flag, as I trip over my words, is Ryan Koch in the 07, and Wesley Burke in the 7 will be joining him on that front row. Those guys will be on the front row for the points-paying race next week as well. Congratulations to those two on their track position in the big one. Starting in the second row, we've got Rob Kubat in the 38 and Sean Happy Happick in the 52. Row 3 has Ryan Seabolt in the 08 with William Kern on the outside in the number 31. Row 4 has the 3 of Scott Milliken and Brad Borer, who's showing the 5 but is the 24 here in the Cup Series. Row number 5 has Bryce Fontaine in the 17, our defending series champion, with Kevin Fry in the 82, rounding out the top 10 of the grid. Mason Connell in the 55, one of the championship 4 from the Truck Series a season ago. He will start in 11th with Kenneth Passmore in the 72. And then Bobby Grady in the number 1 car will start P13 tonight with Tom Freitas. I'm going to go with Freitas. We're going to find out if we're right or wrong in the number 32. Starting 15th tonight, the 91 of Garrett Wiles with Don Miller in the 62, or 63 rather, excuse me, starting in the 16th position. Don got a 3rd place finish last night in the Truck Series. We'll see what he can do here in the Cup Series. Tim Taylor in the number 12 starts in 17th with Keith Vaughn in the number 23 starting in 18th position. Sebastian Taylor in the 26 starts 19th tonight with Ryan Stevenson in the 5 in 20th, and rounding out the field is the 53 of Chris Weiniger. Time look at the race info before we start our race here tonight. The High Velocity Racing Network presents the duel at Daytona. 30 laps tonight with 1 additional set of tires, 1 fast repair, and again, the front row here of Ryan Koch and Wesley Burke will be starting on the front row. Looks like 97-degree track temp with an 83-degree ambient temperature, 9-mile-an-hour winds here as well for this 2.48 mile D Oval Super Speedway. "21 cars here tonight, with a few more to join us in a week's time. No IPL here in the Cup Series. Pace car is going to be diving off down pit road. The field in the hands of the 07 Akash. Down into the restart zone. The flag man presents the green flag, and we are racing from Daytona. Great initial start there for the 07 and the 38 of Kubat as they jump out to P1 and 2. Early on, the inside has the momentum. Oh, a black flag there for the 07 potentially, or he... Yeah, a black flag for Ryan Koch, so no harm, no foul. He's already got himself the pole. Can't get any better than what he's going to be doing next week. But he'll be off, definitely off the pace. That's going to leave the lead to the 38 of Rob Kubat. Great shot of all the cars coming through turns 3 and 4. Right now, Happy pushing Fontaine with William Kern right behind him. That's a trio of Hyperdrive Esports teammates on the outside trying to get that lane with a lot of energy. The inside is king right now. The leaders of this race, Kubat, Burke, Seabolt, and Milliken all on the inside, with Mason Connell sitting in the top 5 as well. Seven of Burke doing a good job pushing, getting a little bit of a gap between himself and the 08. But now here comes the outside lane. Mason Connell jumps out to the outside, trying to get a push from Fontaine. That's a good one to get a push from. The defending series champion, well known as a super speedway racer. Keeps peeking that nose to the outside. Looks like he wants to go 3 wide potentially. Kubat doing a good job keeping that inside lane, that inside lead car tight to the yellow line. Making sure not to allow anybody a hole to fill on the bottom. Ooh, Connell a little bit loose there off of turn 4. As Fontaine will take the middle lane now. And Mason Connell going to be falling back in the field. Mason fell all the way back to the tail of the lead pack. Not much changing up at the front of the field. The only thing changing is the outside lane getting closer and closer, creeping towards that front of the field. Got to get a good push along that outside there. Happy needing to get tight to the back bumper of Fontaine. Burke has done an excellent job, though, on the inside lane, keeping Kubat out in front. Seabolt with a little bit of a gap there between them. And Happy a little bit out of line there. Out of turn 4. He'll be door to door there with the 17 of Fontaine. That is going to really kill the run from the middle. And Happy will fall back in the field. And all that momentum the outside lane had gained is gone as they fall all the way back to the edge of the top 10. And Ryan Koch in the 07, your pole sitter, is just now coming off of turn 4, which means the pack gaining on him rapidly. They will probably catch him this lap, if I had to guess. Outside lane starting to gain some of that momentum back as William Kern and Bryce Fontaine, longtime teammates, start to get that outside lane closer and closer to the top 5. They're on the outside of the number 91 right now. And a great push from Kern will get Fontaine now alongside the 3. And Ryan Koch going to go to the outside and get out of the way. He'll be the top of 3 wide. Trying to keep it off the wall. Fontaine trying to go with a side draft on the 3 of Milliken. Inside's gaining a lot of time here through the corners, as you would expect. Fontaine not giving an inch as he comes off a 4. Trying to continue side drafting the inside lane. Not getting much help though from behind right now. Brad Borer, I believe that is on the outside lane right behind Kern. Now Fontaine to the outside on Milliken. The outside lane does not have as much energy as the inside. But Fontaine trying to side draft his way more and more towards the front. And you see Fontaine and Kern, a lot of chemistry. They know what the other can handle. Some off-center pushes coming from the 31 of Kern. Right now, though, Fontaine is door-to-door with Seabolt in the 3rd position. Trying to draw the 08 away from the 7 and the 38. Oh, and around goes Seabolt into the 17. Damage big time there for those guys as Ryan Seabolt. A hard shot to the outside wall for him in the 08. Side draft gone wrong, I believe. As the first caution of the duel. Tags him right there, yep. Just trying to side draft him back. And a little bit too close by Fontaine. Seabolt tagged by Weiniger as well. Maybe a little bit of damage to the 82 on that as well. So all in all, really everybody able to get away relatively unscathed. Could have been a lot bigger of an incident. Good heads-up driving from everybody. Well, looks like the whole field looking to maybe come down pit road here. Only person going to stay out right now, I believe, is the 07 Akach, as he'll get his lap back with the free pass. But down pit road we go. Quick in and out for Passmore. He's going to be the first one off pit road. I think Passmore might have missed his pit stall. We'll see as they come around. Yeah, Weiniger working on damage. Yeah, you see the right front crinkled in there, lifted up off the ground as well. Guessing Seabolt might have taken his fast repair there. And Chris trying to hold on to that. Yeah, it looks like Passmore missed his pit stall, as he will come back down pit road and get his service done. As Chris jumps off pit road. That'll leave the field in the hands of Rob Kubat once more. And the 38 electing to take the outside here. Wilder, I'm surprised you didn't decide to come out here and race tonight. All right, off of turn 4, here we go. See what lap we're on. Lap 14. Ready to go back to green flag racing. Pace car dives off field, is in the hands of the 38, and Kubat does not get as good a jump as the inside lane as Wesley Burke. With a great jump. I thought maybe too good of a jump, but I'm not seeing a black flag on the 7. As Burke leading the way. Couple bobbles there. Fontaine back to the outside. Guys, does have Happy on his tail. And here comes Fry in the 82 as well. Couple bobbles there from the 52. Oh, and there's a wreck in the back. Around goes Miller. Multiple cars involved with that one. So we had to throw the caution there. Multiple. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Hang on. We got to get this. We got to make sure these guys know that it wasn't a willy-nilly caution. Hey, guys. The multiple cars involved in that one, so I had to throw it. Sorry, guys. Let's go back here and see exactly kind of what happened. Take a look at it from the far chase cam. Let's see. No tag for Milliken there. And Will, off-centered push on the 63. He goes down into Bobby Grady. They slap doors a couple of times. And then back up across into William Kern. Milliken trying to get off of him. Tags him again. And Passmore into him. Ooh, another hard shot there for Ryan Seabolt as well. And then after that... Oh, hold those brakes, Don. Hold those brakes. More and more damage there for Miller. So now Seabolt going to have to get work done on the car again. Not sure how bad his damage will be there. But no free pass this time. Ah, gotcha, Wilder. Gotcha, buddy. So just over the halfway point here. Lap 18 out of the 30 scheduled. So our outside pole sitter, Wesley Burke, leading the race. Our pole sitter, Ryan Koch, he sits in 14th right now. Working his way back from a black flag for, I believe, jumping the start. He'll be on the outside here for the restart. Wesley taking the inside lane. See what kind of jump he can get with Garrett Wiles behind him. I'm guessing everybody can make it to the end from here. Yeah, we'll be going back to the green flag here on lap 20, so it'll be 11 to go. Let's see what Wesley Burke can do. All right, pace car dives off. Field in the hands of the 7 once again. Into the restart zone. And green flag flies once again. $11 to go. Back down to the inside goes Burke. Inside lanes, energy seems to be about even with the top 4 on the outside, but Kubat going to get a great push from the 32 of Freitas. I'll have to get the correct pronunciation on that for the 32. Ooh, a little bobble there from Kubat. Ooh, a bobble there from Wesley Burke as well. Dead even across the line. It will, though, get the push from the 32, putting Kubat out to the race lead once again. Great push down the backstretch rather. As Burke will pull even with Kubat. And the 38 and 32 clear the bottom, so they will take over the race lead on the inside. Leaving Happy to the lead on the outside lane. Big checkup as 2 drivers jump to the outside. I believe that was Wiles and Fontaine. As there's 8 to go here in the duel. And 32 jumps to the outside as well. He'll start taking pushes from the 91. And the 17 getting some pushing in there as well. Top 2 are clear. P3 looks like they're clear. The 4th place car is clear. And Fontaine going to go to the inside. Ooh, that's close. Wiles. Wiles will take over the race lead. That was definitely close. We're going to leave it at that. Looks like they're 3 wide back there. William Kern leading the outside lanes charge. Meanwhile, Garrett Wiles leading the charge on the inside. A little bit of smoke there, and there's a turn! Happy getting turned across the nose. Single car. And the caution comes out. Happy having a hard time getting that car going again. Doesn't look like anybody else had any issues there. I was just about to take care of that for him. I see what you're saying in the chat there. Let's take a look at what actually happened here as Happy got hooked. Offset 3 wide. The 32 tags him on the left rear. And across the nose of Taylor and Freitas. Let's see, Tim. That was close. Almost contact there with another guy. Can't tell who that was in front of him. Oh, and there was another wreck after that, too. Stevenson also getting left hooked. That was him that made contact with the outside wall. Oh, he kind of slapped off of Miller. Is that Miller? Yeah, slapped off of Don Miller into the outside wall. Bang across the nose of Kern and Seabolt. Seabolt cannot get away from the incidents tonight. Lap 26. Make that 27. So we should be looking at a green-white checkered here. And it will be a natural green-white checkered as well. But man, that move by Garrett Wiles. Crazy move, getting himself down in front of Fontaine. By the way, not at 10-0 in the first quarter, by the way. This isn't 2007 anymore there, Weiler. It's over after this. This is just a duel, so 30 laps tonight. So this time around, pace car lights should go off, which means we should be going green at lap 29. Should be a natural green-white checkered. Indeed, there go the lights. Right now, Toolman sitting back in 18th. He got somewhat involved in that last one. And Seabolt another person that was involved in that. He still sits in 14th, so we'll see how he can finish it up. It wouldn't surprise me, Burnsy. It would not surprise me. This is a natural one, though, so. All right. Who's going to lock their way into that third place? Green flag flies. Good jump on the inside. A very poor one on the outside. And Fontaine's not going to have any help. Wesley Burke looked like he started in 4th gear. That's going to allow Brad Borer to the outside, and Fontaine will jump to the inside. And Wiles and Kubat run away. They don't want to run too far, because here comes the field once again. 2 to go. Burke to the outside. Out there in no man's land. Can he clear? No, it's going to be a single file run on the inside. Who's going to make the move? Coming off of turn 4. White flag here from Daytona for the duel. Wiles, Kubat, and Fontaine. Right now, Wiles leads the way. There goes Fontaine to the outside. Nobody follows. Wiles will go to the outside to take that run. But now the inside has the advantage. More cars coming from the outside. A little bit of contact. Wiles gets a great push from Fontaine to the line. Garrett Wiles. Lots of contact after the flag. The unofficial results. Have Garrett Wiles winning it with Fontaine in second, Ryan Koch in third place. '91 burning it down here. parks it on the stripe. All right. We will quickly go over the final race results here. Garrett Wiles in the 91 gets the victory here at the duel, with Bryce Fontaine finishing in second in the 17. Ryan Koch, your pole sitter, gets a third place finish tonight. Rob Kubat in the 38 finishes fourth, with Kevin Fry rounding out the top 5. Tom Freitas in the 32 finishes 6th. Keith Vaughn in the 23 in 7th. Don Miller in the 63 finishes 8th, with Scott Milliken in the 3 finishing in the 9th position. Wesley Burke in the top 10. You can see there your favorite driver. Pick them out, and we'll do that just so you can see the remainder of the field. So tonight we're going to do it a little bit differently than we normally do here at High Velocity Racing League. Normally we talk to our top 3, our podium finishers. But tonight, with it being the duels, we will talk with our pole sitter for the big race and our outside pole sitter for the big race and our race winner. So, let's lead it off here with our outside pole sitter tonight. We want to try to get to a spot that's a little better than that. All right, we'll grab our outside pole sitter for the big race. Finishing in 10th tonight, Wesley Burke. Wesley, how you feeling after the duel tonight, and how you feeling about your chances next week?
I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Nice, nice. Good lap for you to start the night tonight, and you were out front for a good portion of the race. Did you find anybody you felt really comfortable driving with?
Yeah, my teammate Rob and I worked together really good for the first 20 laps there. We just kind of got separated on those restarts and fell back. And then I just started the last restart in fifth gear, so completely screwed that up.
I thought that was what happened. I said fourth, but fifth makes more sense. we saw the gap form pretty quickly, but yeah, I mean it's still not a bad thing. I mean, it didn't matter where you ended up finishing tonight, because like we said in the pre-race, you will be starting on the outside pole. How do you feel about your track position there? Is that really going to help you propel yourself forward more?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. It gives me the opportunity to be up front and lead some laps to avoid the wrecks, hopefully. So,
That's always the goal. All right. Well, anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
like I said, my teammate Rob for pushing and being good, allowing me to push in good. So,
Awesome. All right. Well, Wesley, we will see you next week. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to you then as well.
okay. Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Next up, we'll talk with our pole sitter. Our pole sitter for the big race next week, the 07 of, and if I butcher your last name, I'm sorry, Ryan Koch. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Nice. Awesome. I'm glad I haven't been butchering it in the other league either. That's great. Well, you're sitting on the pole tonight, and then a black flag puts you a little bit off the pace. I'm guessing an early start there in the restart zone. But how you feeling after your charge back through the field and the third place finish in the race?
You know, I really wasn't expecting it. After I did jump the start there at the beginning and having to go that lap down, I kind of just accepted the fact that I wasn't going to really finish high in this race. I'd kind of bank on how next week's race goes. But the charge there at the end, I mean, I told Will on that final restart I was going with him. I guess something happened up front. They checked up. He went straight into the wall to the right. Thankfully, I was able to get around that, and I don't know what happened. There were cars left, cars right. There was a hole. I don't know if I could have actually fit, but I did, and just center and ended up right there behind Bryce for P3.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, getting the pole was the most important aspect of this. You're sitting on the pole for the big race in a week's time. How you feeling about your chances starting from the front row?
Hopefully, I don't have a repeat of what I did today, but feeling good. Just kind of don't don't know what to expect. It's a super speedway. You can start in the front and not finish it all. So just kind of plan on keeping it safe. Do what I can. Bring her home.
Anybody not a teammate that you found out that you could work with really well out there tonight?
Really, all the cars I ended up around were pretty solid. I know there's a few names I recognize from over with ERC, and a few names I've never seen before. But a lot of these drivers I noticed seem like they know what they're doing.
Awesome. And anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go, Ryan?
I just want to shout out Bryce for bringing me in here. You especially for doing the broadcast, Eternal, Triple Stint, Gloves, P1 Docs, all the big guys over there with Eternal helping us out, and just everybody watching. Hope you all enjoy the show, and hopefully get a good show next week.
All right, Ryan, we'll let you go. Congratulations on the pole next week and a top 3 here tonight. We'll see you then.
See ya.
That was Ryan Koch in the 07. And now we'll talk with our race winner here. And finally, Garrett Wiles in the number 91. Congratulations on your race win here, starting P3 in the big race next week. How you feeling with the track position for that race?
I'm happy with it. For the first race with this with the new league and so forth, bunch of good group of guys. I'm liking it. I especially got to say thank you to Bryce because he cut me a break to get the lead to begin with. I squeezed down on top of him and wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to leave my teammate Tom. And it's Freitas is how you pronounce it, by the way.
Freitas, okay. I had it right at one point. I got it wrong a lot though. So.
Yeah, he's my teammate. We used to run front row esports together, and we decided to close the doors and try to find another league. And this one's been working out pretty well, and I'm liking the guys here. So
awesome.
It was a good race. Fun race.
I was gonna comment on the great move that you made there to get to the race lead in the first place. But yeah, that one caught me off guard throughout the end of that race. But a heck of a move, put you in a position to even have a shot at the race win here, and really, I mean, a great race all around for you. Up 14 spots from the start, so I mean that's great to go from where you qualified to where you finish, and now you sit in the third position to start the race. How important is that track position going to be for you?
Honestly, with it being a super speedway, it doesn't really make much of a difference for me. I can never qualify good at super speedways. I don't know what it is about it. I can't queue to save my life here at all. But I'm very good here. I love this track. I love Talladega. I'm very good at pushing. And I'm very good at being pushed. I can hold the line pretty dang well. Bryce, I can feel like I've never ran with him before, and he's a great pusher. And I'm excited. I'm excited for next week.
Awesome. Well, we will let you go. Before we do, anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I'll shout out for you. Being up here in the booth, it's awesome to see. Don't see very many people that will be willing to get up here in the booth all night and not be racing. So I appreciate you. And the whole league itself, and then especially my family. If I wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to be here. So
awesome. All right, Garrett, we will see you next week, starting third, and maybe we'll talk to you again there.
I appreciate it, Matthew.
Congratulations on the win tonight.
I appreciate it.
All right, that's going to do it here for High Velocity Racing League's Cup Series action. as Garrett Wiles moves up 14 spots to get himself a race win in the duel. And he will start inside row number 2. And, you know, for everybody else that finished in that top 5, that's still a good starting position for them. Bryce Fontaine will now start in the 4th position. He moved up 7 spots from his qualifying spot. And then Rob Kubat will start in the 5th position. And then further on down the line, that's where they'll start. They keep going 1 spot back for all those guys that are not on the pole and outside pole. So for everybody here at the High Velocity Racing League and the High Velocity Racing Network, thank you all for joining us. We will catch you in tomorrow night as the ARCA drivers start their season off with a duel and see what they can see where they can put themselves, where they're going to qualify, who's going to be on the front row for the big race for the ARCA series. Stay tuned tomorrow night as we will kick off the ARCA series. We'll see you then.